Hey crafty friends, it's Diane with Bean Street Paper, and I'm here to do another 10-minute Tuesday video. I just want to take a minute and apologize for skipping last week. It's been a little crazy around here. My husband has just retired from 26 years in the Army, and it's been a little bit of an adjustment for us trying to figure out what's going on. So life got away from me last week, but I'm back this week with a cute little Mother's Day card. Mother's Day is May 9th, so if you haven't gotten your mom or made your mom a Mother's Day card, then this is the perfect card for you. I'm going to show you how I made this in just a second, but first I also want to say I have had people asking me, I am working on another Bash Your Scrap Bin video, and it will be, here's a sneak peek of the stamp set real quick. Thank you, Linda Park, for sending this to me as a challenge. I'm going to be probably doing tons of masculine cards, so if you have a problem with masculine cards, then you're going to want to tune in for that, and that'll be coming soon. So without further ado, let's get on with this Mother's Day card. You are going to need, we're going to just do a little bit of stamping. You're going to need a card base. Lord, we went out riding on the motorcycle all day today and my brain is just mush. You're going to need this card base, A2 size as always, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay, and I chose some paper. I wanted a pretty floral paper because, you know, mom flowers. I chose a piece of paper from this Flower Market pad, and it looks like this. It's double-sided, but I like this design and I like the colors, and I think they go super well with my bird. So that is cut 1/4 of an inch smaller. So that is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. Okay. There's other, you know, look through your papers. There's other papers in here that this would be cute. This would be cute if you have a mom who likes pink. So really any background paper would be fine. I am going to take my ATG gun and attach that to my card base. Okay. And make sure my card base opens the right way. Center that on my card base there and just set that aside for a minute because we need to do a little bit of stamping. Oh, I forgot to tell you, here's the card we're making. Here's the stamp sets I used. One is called Winged Cup by Stampendous. I love these little birds. I could not resist this stamp set. And then for the sentiment, Happy Mother's Day, I used Tea Together from Stampin Up. Okay. I'm going to get out my stamp platform. And I have already cut my sheet that I want to stamp on. And that is cut 1/2 of an inch smaller than my flower paper because I wanted the flowers to show around the outside. You can probably even cut it smaller depending on what stamp set you use. So that is cut at 3 1/2 excuse me, 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. And I will, of course, put all these measurements down below. So I'm going to take my stamp platform. Whoop! Uh-oh. I'm never going to get those apart. And just place my mug where I want it. And that's pretty much in the middle of the paper there. Let me just, I like to kind of finagle it and see. Okay, so that's gonna go right there. Oop, sorry about that. I'm gonna stamp it with my Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I am gonna be coloring with alcohol ink markers. You know, I should have moved this cord before we started, guys. And that way, let's see if that goes out of the way now. All right, I'm gonna stamp this twice. I didn't ever used to use my stamp platform, but now I have decided that it is an invaluable tool and I love it. To be honest with you. So, all right, I'm gonna wipe that stamp with baby wipes. Clean them off. And then I'm gonna do my bird. I'm gonna have to move that. I liked to put him on the handle here. And then my little steam. Okay. Oh. So, if you don't have a stamp platform, I mean, you don't need one, but if you're looking for a tool that is going to be super helpful, I would suggest you add that to your list. It is a lifesaver. All right. Okay. Done with that guy. I'm just going to clean my stamps again. And basically, I freehanded. I say freehanded. I just stamped the sentiment with a block. I didn't need it for that, really. I don't always use it. I just sometimes use it. Okay. Ink. And I'm just gonna stamp him right here. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Now, at this point, you guys know you would affix that to the card base and be done with it, really. If you don't want to watch me color in this little piece of paper, then let me show you. Basically, here's what's going to happen when you're done coloring. Uh-oh, he's got a little smear there. How did that happen? So there's your card. Oh, and I did I already colored these flowers from the stamp set. So they'll go on pop dots next to the cup. But I am going to record myself coloring this so that those of you who want to watch it can. So this video may be a scooch longer than 10 minutes, but it definitely is a 10-minute card. So I got these tri-blend markers from Spectrum Noir. Now, I know we've talked about alcohol ink markers before, and I said, I could love them or leave them. You know, I really prefer colored pencils and Gamsol. These are a game changer for me. I don't have to think about what colors match. They're all in the same marker, and I think, personally, my opinion is they work great for me. So, I'm going to do my cup. This is called Antique Pink. Now, they do have numbers. See, AP4, AP3, AP2. So what I do is I start off with my dark, which is AP4, and I just go around the outside of my cup anywhere that I think it should be darker. And I just kept it a little bit darker up here. One thing I discovered about alcohol ink markers is it kind of looks like a hot mess when you're coloring it, but once you get it done and it dries, it looks pretty good. Pretty good. And then I'm gonna go around the inside of the handle where it will be darker. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take this and make my edge a little bit deeper. I go in circles. I don't know what the actual technique is, but that's how I do it. Okay, then I'm gonna take my mid color and I'm just gonna color over what I colored, okay, already, and increase it so that it has more, go in deeper, I guess, is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, and then I'll go around the little handle here. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with my light. Now, when I do my light, I'm going to color over this whole thing. This is just, it's just so no-brainer that with these markers that I have really changed my mind about it. And I'm just going to go over that one more time so that it looks a little less blotchy. Okay. And then I'm going to do my handle. Super easy. Okay, when that dries, it'll be perfect. So that was my antique pink. Now, I don't want my cup to look like it's just kind of hanging out there in the middle of the air. So I'm going to take this is brown gray. The one thing that did disappoint me about these markers, they come in a set. You can buy them singly at Hobby Lobby, but they come in a set. There's two different sets. There was no blender, so I would have blended this out a little bit more, but there was no blender. So I just, it doesn't look bad. I don't think it looks bad, but I'm just gonna do a little bit around the cup so that it looks like it's not hanging out there in outer space. Okay. And like I said, if I had a blender, I'd have blended it out a little bit. I might invest in a blender. Okay, and then the last two colors, the blue turquoise and the light yellow, I'm going to do my bird with. So, I already did these flowers. This was the citrus, and this is jade green blend. So, they're already done. Alright, so starting with my dark, I'm going to do his beak in dark, and I'm not even going to try to shade that because, that would be a mess. And I'm just going to go around his little belly. Again, anywhere that I thought there would be a darker color, Then I'm going to take my mid and I'm going to go over it again and kind of extend it a little bit. Okay, And you could probably extend a little. And then we're going to do the same thing with the light. Just go over the whole thing. Okay. Okay. Oh, and I did do just a scooch on his little feet there. Okay. All right, then we're going to take our blue turquoise and again start with the dark. And I'm going to go the end of his tail and that top part around his wing. Now you want to be careful not to get this in your yellow or you're going to have green. You're going to have a green bird. Ask me how I know. So instead of coloring like I normally do, I had to be a little more careful. Okay, then I'm going to go with my mid and do the same thing. Just extend it a little bit. Go up his tail, color over that. And then do the same thing with my light. I'm going to color over everything, including the areas that I have not. Someday I will learn to color without making squeaky noises, but it is not going to be today, friends. Sorry. Okay. And voila, there you have it. I'm going to take my ATG gun, put ATG on the back. Okay, add it to my card base. Just center it on there. And then this is the part that took me the longest, is these flowers. So I want to pop them up on pop dots for a little bit of dimension. What I had to do was cut these little, I don't even know if you guys are going to be able to see what I'm doing. I had to cut my squares so that they would fit on the petals. So I did it. It took forever. And I just, so this one I put, I put it on all the petals because he's going to be in the background and then the green one's going to go over the top. So I didn't have to put it on all the petals. You'll see what I mean here in a second. Okay, so you could just as easily color this in with Gamsol and colored pencils or just regular markers. Yeah, sorry, it takes a little bit to peel these off. I guess I should use something other than my finger. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of glue, wet glue, so that I can kind of slide it around. Just a dot. Okay, and I'm going to place him right at the edge of this cup here. Okay. And then I'm going to take my green flower, and what I want to do with him is I want him to kind of go over a little bit. If he goes off the page, that's fine. But he's going to overhang my yellow flower, so what I'm going to do is glue these petals directly to my yellow flower, and then just these three need pop dots, so, or dimensional adhesive, or whatever you want to call it. So here I go with putting my dimensional adhesive on those petals. And I think I'll put one right there in the middle. All right. I'm trying to stay neat and clean, guys, and it is just a delightful challenge because that is so against my nature. Also, I want to thank Kimberly for inspiring me to finally take the plunge and redo, I don't know if you noticed this, all of my stamp sets in these envelopes. So I went from about 10 feet of space to maybe 4 feet of space. Maybe less. Maybe 2 feet of space. So that makes me very, very happy. Very super happy. All right. And I'm just gonna, oh, I think I'm gonna wiggle him around a little bit. Just like that. Okay. And there you have it. There is your Mother's Day card. Now, you could, I have some. You could take a strip of paper and add it to the inside here. Just like that. And I think I shall. Because I have these strips. And what am I going to do with them? I know what I'm going to do with them. Push them around on my desk. And then eventually they'll get thrown in the trash. Because I'll be like, what am I going to do with those? So, in fact, I have 2 of those strips. So I will put 1 in each card that I made. You could also add rhinestones, add Wink of Stella, which I think I am going to do. Add Wink of Stella to the steam coming from the coffee. Let me see. Do I have... That's white. Wink of Stella. Here's clear. So what I will do is just add a little bit here. You can dress this up as much as you like. I think I'll do some here. Just a wee bit. My biggest... Lord, I hope you guys can't... Oop, there's the pin to my glue. I hope you guys can't hear that big old truck going down the street. We live off like a main drag, and they like to gun it and run it, man. Alright. I don't know. I'm perfectly done. So there you have it. There's your card. Now, if anybody has any suggestions on how I can fix that, I don't have one of those erasers that is like a sandpaper. But that is going to drive me absolutely crazy. So there are your Happy Mother's Day cards. I thank you all so very much for joining me and watching my video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. I know this one was a little bit longer than 10 minutes. But you don't have to be that elaborate with your coloring and stuff like that. So, and I did chat for a long time. Sorry about that. So, have a great day, everybody. I hope to craft with you all again soon.